I'm Patrick De Haan, head of petroleum analysis at GasBuddy. Obviously, some developments over the weekend, Iran and the United States engaging in attacks. This has destabilized global energy markets and driven up the price of oil. Oil prices have reacted, jumping about 5%. Some of that is due to the fact that Iran is a major oil producer, but more of that fact is likely focused on the Strait of Hormuz, a vital waterway that gives access to much of the world's supply of oil. 20% of the world's supply of oil does flow through the Strait of Hormuz on its way to customers internationally, and that is why we're seeing oil prices jump. Now, this is not the Russian situation in 2022. Many situations we've seen have not risen to the magnitude of what we're seeing today. Having said that, there's not necessarily need for alarm either. Oil prices are seeing mostly a measured response. In early electronic trading, we did see WTI prices reach $80 a barrel. The good news is that as the day has progressed, oil prices have started to cool off. WTI crude oil briefly dipped below the $70 a barrel mark. So at the end of the day, what the market is signaling to us is that while this is an important situation to keep an eye on, it is not necessarily alarming. There's not necessarily going to be a price spike when it comes to gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel. I'll cover those here in a minute and what we can expect. But for now, the biggest risk right now is the Strait of Hormuz. It's not been necessarily closed, but the elevated risk has caused vessels to drop anchor before sailing through the Strait of Hormuz on the uncertainty that Iran could potentially launch attacks on vessels transiting through the Strait of Hormuz. I would look for the United States and potentially oil-producing countries to secure the Strait of Hormuz or to pay more attention so that ships can start transiting again. If that happens, it likely would lead to an improvement in the price of oil. Again, confidence is the name of the game when it comes to the Strait of Hormuz. Nobody really has confidence right now to transit through the strait, and that's why oil prices are reacting. Now, when it comes to gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel prices, we are in the midst of seasonal changes coming to gasoline. That is, the transition to summer gasoline is beginning or has begun across most of the country. Summer gasoline is more costly, it's more expensive, and the good news, though, is that we're still not seeing a major impact to the wholesale price of gasoline. Depends on where you are. Some states engage in what we call price cycling, which is a pattern of large increases followed by large decreases. These states include areas of the Great Lakes, Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, Illinois, Wisconsin, Kentucky. Also states like Texas and Florida, as well as areas of Colorado, exhibit these patterns where gas prices jump up, then very quickly start to decline. Those markets are already seeing increases today. It's the typical cycle timing, but the cycle amount is enhanced by what's happening overseas. That is, last time these states saw prices cycle, they're now cycling to prices that are approximately 20 cents higher than the last time they cycled. And much of that, if not all of that, is due to the oil market's reaction and the U.S. attacks on Iran. Now, the good news is once prices go up in those price cycling states, they will start to trickle back down in the days ahead by a few cents a gallon every day. So prices are going up today, Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, as well as Florida and Texas. Once those prices have gone up, you'll start to see improvement in the next 48 hours. Prices will start to trickle lower. They may do so on a little bit slower basis. Those convenience stores may be telling their stations not to roll prices down quickly in light of the situation and uncertainty in Iran. Now, when it comes to diesel prices are seeing quite a bit more of an impact today. Part of that is because there was a drone attack on a Saudi Arabian oil refinery, and oil inventories have been relatively tight. That is, distillate inventories, have been relatively tight. Now, some of that was due to cold weather that we saw several weeks ago, boosting heating oil consumption. But for diesel consumers, truckers, you're going to see more of an impact. The price of diesel may rise anywhere from 25 to 50 cents over the next week or two. And that is going to really be an additional cost for the U.S. economy. Meanwhile, gas prices nationally may only rise 10 to 30 cents over the next week or two. Diesel prices could at least double that. So unfortunately, we do have some higher prices coming for both gasoline and diesel. This will also impact every product derived from crude oil, including things like jet fuel. Now, airlines are unlikely to adjust prices just yet based on today's increase in jet fuel prices because they tend to react more to longer term changes. Ultimately, this is not necessarily a massive spike in prices. It will be a noticeable jump at the pump, but it likely will be temporary as well. GasBuddy will keep things covered. We'll continue to cover all angles across the country. The national average also today likely to hit that $3 a gallon mark as prices continue to climb. Our data will continue to update every 5 minutes, showing you the calculations as new data continues to come in. So for the first time this year, I am expecting the national average will hit that $3 a gallon mark, but plenty more. We'll keep everything covered. Further developments obviously could very much change the current situation, but for now, most Americans will see an increase in gas prices. Price cycling markets will likely see more of a jolt of 30 to 70 cents at individual stations, whereas states that don't engage in price cycling will probably see prices rising a few cents every day for the next week or two. All of it will amount to an average increase across the country of probably 15 to 30 cents a gallon over the next 2 weeks. So we'll keep everything covered. Thanks for tuning into GasBuddy. We'll see you next time.